Today, a big update from Tesla on their very long-range semi. But first, let me remind you what one of the smartest people on planet Earth had to say about the prospects of long-range electric semis just a couple of years ago. September 2020, Gates wrote, quote, "Electricity works when you need to cover short distances, but we need a different solution for heavy, long-haul vehicles." Oh God, this is hilarious. But I'm just going to read the article now. Like other critics of all-electric long-haul, such as Nikola founder Trevor Meltdown Milton, who I believe at this point in time is doing his best not to drop the soap. We all saw that coming. Gates believes battery-powered cross-country trucking is impractical. Quote, "The more weight you're trying to move, the more batteries you need to power the vehicle," he writes. Now, that's true. Thank you, Bill. He continues, "But the more batteries you use, the more weight you add, and the more power you need. Even with big breakthroughs in battery technology, electric vehicles will probably never be a practical solution for things like 18-wheelers, cargo ships, and passenger jets." So, awkward moment. This 18-wheeler right here, more range than any human bladder can handle. Let's continue this article. For long haul, Gates points to alternative biofuels and hydrogen, which, by the way, certainly he doesn't have any fingers in any of those pies through his quote-unquote philanthropic business endeavors, right? Because he wouldn't be talking his own book, would he? Nah. Which is typically associated with hydrogen fuel cells. In this case, Gates supports combining hydrogen with carbon dioxide to produce synthetic gasoline and diesel, also known as electrofuels, which can then be used in existing engines. So, just to make sure that everyone understands that, as embarrassing as it was for Bill Gates to be wrong, this is the only time he's ever exercised very poor judgment. Mate, what's this? Elon Musk disclosing back in 2022 that Bill Gates, to the best of his knowledge, still had a multi-billion-dollar short position against Tesla stock, while simultaneously claiming to want to help with global warming might cause some trust issues. Now, Bill Gates has got to be one of the most brain-dead, quote, smart people on the planet to not understand the optics. He's out here flying around in his private jet, lecturing people about global warming and whatever, right? And at the same time, this fucking idiot had probably still has a multi-billion-dollar short position against the one company that's done more to address global warming, as they say, than any other. Even if you think you could make some money on that deal, you're already filthy fucking rich. How dumb do you need to be to not be able to read the room and think, lecturing everyone about climate change and global warming and probably shouldn't have a fucking gigantic, Guinness World Record-breaking short position against the one company that... Bro, the guy is... You guys understand a bit of physics, probably not all of you, but quantum superposition being two states at the same time. He's both a genius and a fucking tard at the same time. It's amazing. Although genius may be a slight stretch. But don't worry, those are the only two instances of Bill Gates demonstrating extremely poor judgment. What's this? Bill Gates met with Jeffrey Epstein many times, despite his past. And if you don't know his past, what rock have you been living under? So, I think what I was trying to say is, wait, what's this? In case you need to lose a boner fast. Oh, how rude and hilarious. So definitely listen to this guy if he ever tells you to do anything that's for your own health and or safety. Wait, what? Oh, I'm not going there. Yeah, so I think I had a point. Oh, yeah, that's right. Bill Gates is very smart. He also appears to be a fan of diversification. At one point, owning 49% of Microsoft, a company today worth $3.24 trillion. You want to do the math on 49%? Don't bother, because that's not what he owns anymore. I said it before, I'll say it again. Diversification is for very smart people like Bill Gates. Now that I'm done roasting Bill, and look, he asked for it. The bro actively short for an extended period of time against Tesla. Okay, strike one. Hanging out with a legit pedo and knowing about this, and still strike two. Misleading dimwits in the general public, safe and effective and for your protection, not their quarterly profits. Strike three. And being arrogant and dumb enough to go on the record claiming that electric long-haul vehicles ain't going to happen. The guy was begging for it, so I'm happy to give him what he was asking for. Now, Tesla stole the show at the IAA Transportation 2024 event. Let's learn the latest bombshells, and I do mean that, on the Tesla Semi. That was never going to happen and isn't practical, and yeah, by the way, just 4 years after Bill Gates' famously embarrassing comments.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here. Really, it's a true privilege for us to get a chance to show the Semi off to all of you and give you just a little bit of a hint of what we've been doing with it in the North American market. We really think that we've got a compelling product that when we bring it to Europe, will be welcomed by our customers. Now, before I get into that, I do want to say that there's a lot of really impressive stuff here at the show. Ultimately, frankly, the OEMs have done a great job of putting not just a lot of innovation and passion into the vehicles, but putting them on the road. There are respectable volumes of zero-emission vehicles, battery electric ones in particular, on the road now, and I applaud all the efforts to go and scale as we look forward, whether that's in vehicles or charging, to make Europe transportation zero emission. Now, we want to be part of this. Why we're here and why we're interested in Europe is that we want to help leverage the experience we have, not just with our North American pilot fleet, but also with EVs overall, in order to help accelerate that transition to sustainable energy. Now, let's talk about the product a little bit. We understand that the European market is not a monolith. We understand that countries are different, customers are different, and we look forward to developing trucks that will be very specific for the use cases of our customers' needs. Now, what you have to know is that we designed the Semi from day one to be a compelling product across multiple markets, including Europe. Now, the truck that you see at the booth today is just one variant. We adopted our pilot production North American truck for the European market and roads. Thanks to the 2020 rules, the dimensions and weights directive modifications, the Tesla Semi will be street legal in Europe and be compatible with European trailers. Now, we'll be back and we'll bring some other things along that I think will showcase a little bit more of the variants that we're looking to develop to help best serve a wide variety of customers in Europe. But we're proud of what we have today. And what we do come back, we want to make sure we do so in scale. And ultimately, we want to address the concerns of our customers. Two of the things that you commonly hear about when it comes to electrification are that range is not acceptable and that the trucks are way too heavy. Now, we have been putting a lot of effort in to show that those two things are not necessarily correct, or at least our product helps address those concerns. Our 800-kilometer truck, we have done actual demonstrations of. And these masses, we think, are competitive and allow for a significant amount of payload. And when you couple the two together, we believe that we can address a large number of applications that diesel is successfully doing today, but we can do it at a lower operating cost.
Just want to take a quick pause here. You'll note the way this is being presented. As I've said many times, Tesla's never, ever been about addressing 100% of every category, every vehicle, every use case. Instead, due to the fact that their brains are too big, they're looking at addressing the needs of the majority. Think about the Pareto principle. They're going after the 80% of use cases, not the 20% of edge cases. It's a balancing act. Cybertruck is another classic example of that. Tesla could have released a Cybertruck with a stupidly long range that almost no people would actually require. Alternatively, they could address 80% of customers and have the option of a range extender for those very few rare cases where it's actually needed. Clearly, this is also the approach for the Semi. And importantly, the financial case for replacing a diesel semi-truck with a Tesla Semi, as we're just hearing, it's an actual no-brainer. If you're a business and a Tesla Semi can slot into these same routes you're currently using a diesel truck, diesel Semi, you'll save stupid amounts of money from day one, making it an absolute no-brainer. And this is the whole point. There's no need to convince people when the numbers speak for themselves. All other things being equal, there's a much lower energy cost recharging electric versus using diesel fuel. But in addition, the number of miles, or in parts of the world where they use a more sensible unit of measurement, metric system, kilometers. The more kilometers you're doing per day, per week, the more things are prone to wear out. So the less parts, less points of failure, wear and tear, the better. And electric vehicles have a fraction of the moving parts of an internal combustion vehicle of any kind. So the maintenance is significantly lower and the energy is significantly lower. So your operational costs, all things considered, are significantly lower, making the payback time very quick. So again, these things are a no-brainer. And then of course, there's the climate alarmists forcing companies to start transitioning their fleets to sustainable forms of transportation anyway. So, I mean, these companies are going to have their hand forced, even if it wasn't economically a no-brainer. Government mandates are also going to push them in that direction.
Now, how do you achieve this? It's through developing a single, optimized, simple platform around battery electric from day one. Trying to protect or optimize for multiple powertrain options just introduces drag.
Correct. Accurate. It's almost like this guy works at Tesla and has a brain. Oh, wait, he does and he does. That's why, yes, simplicity. I've said many times in the past, but I will repeat it. Whenever you see a company out here bragging about how many different models and variations, you idiots! You want one category killer per category. Simplicity is key. You benefit from economies of scale. a lack of complexity. Remember, complexity appeals to stupid people. Think about an iPhone. Most people watching probably have one. You basically have the standard iPhone and the big iPhone. And Tesla Semi, you basically have the standard Semi and the big Semi, as in more range. That's it. That's all you need. That will meet the needs of most consumers out there, most businesses out there. Still blows my mind when I see a company announcing, we're going to have 27 new models of electric vehicle by 2027. You morons! Do you not understand that you're self-immolating, you're roasting yourself with this announcement? The big swinging dick moment from a company is when they say, we are going to make one product in this category. We're going to have one or two variations and that's it. That's how you know they're on the right path.
And all these numbers are more difficult to achieve. So we encourage everyone to continue to develop purpose-built EV platforms to allow for the best possible products. Now, these numbers, particularly the mass ones, represent today, but we have more improvements, and there's no exemptions factored in here, no weight exemptions. And on top of that, we think that there are additional levers to pull to reduce these masses even further. Now, the other common refrain that we get from our customers is about charging, and that charge times are too long. We have successfully demonstrated and deployed megawatt-level charging in the field. It is safe, it is reliable, and it enables a one-for-one replacement of diesel trucks. We have successfully driven, PepsiCo did a demonstration last year, of more than 1,700 kilometers in a single 24-hour period, and that is enabled by fast charging. This allows the vehicle to get back on the road as quickly as can and go back to earning money for the customer. Now, it's important to understand what we're really trying to do is ensure that the vehicle has no dedicated time for charging. What we want to do is take time where the vehicle would already be stationary, be it for unloading and loading cargo, or when a driver needs to take their break or they are off duty. That is when we want to charge the vehicle. The goal is 0 dedicated stops for charging. Fast charging also enables positive economics, and we are seeing lower operating costs in the trucks that we put in the field today. Now, how do we put this charging to use? To date, we have driven more than 7.5 million kilometers with the pilot Tesla Semi fleet. Now, this is not the most number of miles by a heavy-duty fleet. Again, I applaud all the work the other OEMs are doing. They're doing great work. But why are we proud of this number? It's because we've done it with a relatively small number of trucks in a relatively short period of time. And it's because of high efficiency and high range and megawatt charging that is possible. Just as a data point, we have a truck in our fleet that is less than a year and a half into operations. It has driven more than 400,000 kilometers. Those are not simulated, those are not accelerated, those are real-world miles. And those have been all done at North American gross vehicle weight limits to enable 15 million ton kilometers of work. Now, Tesla.
Bill Gates has left the chat. That sounds to me like a compelling use case of a real product, an electric 18-wheeler doing real work. Just to translate for the folks still using the world's most embarrassing measurement system, 400,000 kilometers in 18 months is roughly 250,000 miles. That ain't no joke.
Tesla wants to put its money where its mouth is, and we put these trucks today into our existing operations. We haul battery packs out of our factory in Nevada to support vehicle operations down in California. And we do this one-for-one with diesel. There's no compromise in schedule and no compromise in payload in order to make this happen. So we get to replace diesel at a lower operating cost.
If you own Tesla stock, this is very good. One of the millions of ways Tesla can save costs and overhead, replacing the diesel vehicles they were previously using with their own electric semi-trucks.
Now, in addition to having this, we have to make sure the vehicle is actually capable to do that job. And we put them to work. We go up some serious grades. About 2 years ago, we did a demonstration where we took our drive, where we took the truck out for an 800-kilometer drive with no charging. Successfully demonstrated it. As part of that, we did this pass. It's called Tejon Pass, more commonly known as the Grapevine, and it's significant. But we know that the European market has its fair share of grades as well. And the Brenner, which we plan to demonstrate at some point, is definitely notable. Why are we confident that the Semi is going to work in these applications as well as others? Because this is the grade that we do every day, multiple times a day. This is Donner Pass in California. It's a great proving ground. You've got different traffic types, different weather conditions, different grade pitches along the way. It's a grueling, wonderful Goldilocks route where we get to really stress the truck in a variety of applications. We're confident that the work that we are doing in North America is applicable to the strenuous areas of Europe. We take our truck and we climb heavy grades in high heat, 45°C, down and outside of Las Vegas, Nevada. We go to Alaska, we climb high grades in minus 20°C. We go park the truck and let it sit out in minus 40°C. We are doing this work, and we understand that Europe is not constant, and there will be unique challenges to the market. But I want to reassure you that we are stressing the vehicle and the systems, so that we're confident when we do come here, it will get the work done for the customer. Now, electrification introduces a major improvement in terms of efficiency. The baseline diesels over time have actually significantly improved in terms of efficiency. There has been market improvement, and that should be applauded. But electrification introduces a step change here. And the common industry numbers that we see are starting to approach 100 kilowatt hours of energy in order to travel 100 kilometers. We are actively using the Semi and demonstrating that it is capable of 100 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And when we come back with a high volume version of this truck, this number is going to continue to improve. Efficiency is key. It results in lower battery mass, lower battery cost, and thus enabling better economics for the customer to reduce pricing and increase capability.
Yeah, in other words, it's already a no-brainer, even at low volume. But as these things scale, more costs are driven down, energy density of batteries improves, some mass is removed. Tesla Semi is going to go from a no-brainer to a giga no-brainer. People don't seem to be thinking about this, but there's going to be near infinite demand for these things for years to come. If your job in a business is to save the business money and you operate a fleet of diesel vehicles today, and you look at the economics of a Tesla Semi, first you're going to shit a fucking brick, then you're going to go running to your boss's office going, "Hey boss bro, I'm going to save you a fuckload of money." You're going to get a nice pat on the back. The bigger the business, the larger their fleet, the more significant the financial impact of shifting from diesel semi-trucks to electric, in particular Tesla. Now, it's important to understand there are other electric semi-trucks on the market. Most of them have piss poor range and aren't brilliantly engineered. If you're a fleet owner and you're looking at the economics, the efficiency of the drivetrain, the total mass of the vehicle, the kilowatt hours per kilometer or mile is what matters most to your total operating costs. So the company that can engineer the most efficient vehicle, that would be Tesla, is going to have the most financially compelling product. And unlike consumers who may be buying vehicles to compensate for a lack of inches in one place or another, or to signal to the world a certain level of perceived status and or insecurity, commercial customers don't give a shit about that. They care about the bottom line.
Now, we put all of that efficiency into the field, and we put the Semi across a variety of different duty cycles, whether that's light or medium or heavy. And now this is actual data from our North American fleet. So you'll see the numbers tend to correspond to North American limits, but it is very much applicable to how we expect vehicles to run into a wide variety of applications that our customers are going to put the Semi in the future. And again, as we get more efficient, these numbers will continue to improve. Now, it's one thing to deliver a very capable Semi, a very capable heavy truck, but it has to be reliable. It's got to stay on the road. And thus far, the fleet, the semi-pilot fleet that is in operation, is currently showing more than 95% uptime. We use Tesla's vertical integration, starting all the way up at the design teams and working through manufacturing and supply chain, production, and down to service, to create a product that not only is reliable, but also one that allows us to get the vehicle back to the customer faster. We understand that time is of the essence. We can't take a truck down for an elongated repair job. And by the way, that 95% number includes both unscheduled and scheduled maintenance, as does the fact that our key-to-key time, the amount of hours that it takes to take a truck, repair it, and get it back, is less than 24 hours in nearly 70% of the cases in the current fleet. And this is what we are looking to continue to improve to ensure that our customers can get their vehicles back on the road and back to work. Now, as we look to come to the European market, we'll make sure that our customers have the service partnership that they need, whether that is something that Tesla does directly, we work with third-party services, or something where a technician that works at a customer's site is equipped in order to work on the Semi directly. We see the diverse service needs, and the European market is incredibly nuanced. We really respect that. And the number of solutions that are out there are tremendous. And we want to fit into those solutions so that the customer has the best tool to do the job. Now, we have shown that electrification is technologically ready. But how do we bring this to scale? What do we need to do? Well, Tesla is delivering additional trucks to PepsiCo, our launch partner, throughout this year. But then we're actually starting to introduce, through the end of this year, additional new customers that are going to get a chance in North America to experience the Semi firsthand and a full ownership experience. But that's just this year. What we're really looking forward to is high volume. Now, we are constructing a factory outside of Reno, Nevada, near one of our existing plants, that will be capable of building more than 50,000 units a year. We look forward to...
Now, 50,000 units a year may not sound like a huge number, but remember the average selling price of these is many times that of, say, a Model 3 or a Y, or even a Model S or X.
Production throughout. We see that Europe, the next market following the ramp in North America.
Now, I haven't seen this presentation. Maybe he'll share numbers, but we just heard 50,000 per year capacity in the US, then Europe. So, spoiler alert, add another 50,000 a year. So we're now looking at 100,000 units per year of global Tesla Semi production. Well, that's just based on one factory in the US and one somewhere in Europe. Let's do some numbers since we've got a nice round number, 100,000 semis. Imagine these things are $200,000 US dollars a pop, or use your own number. That would be $20 billion a year of revenue. If there's a 20% margin on those, that's $4 billion a year in profit, $1 billion a quarter. This is a seriously large project. Tesla's entire business today is roughly $100 billion in revenue per year. This could be a 20% increase on that. And I don't know if it's going to come up in this talk, but you know the whole autonomy thing and vehicle platooning that was previously discussed? This is not including any software revenue. Imagine the transformation, the shift in being a semi-driver, turning instead into an operator where software is doing most of the driving work. And imagine Tesla's charging per month for that software on a fleet of, let's just call it 100,000 of these vehicles per year. Over the next decade, there could be 1 million of these things on roads. Numbers get pretty fucking insane. And again, unlike a consumer decision to buy a vehicle for personal use, consumers are a lot more sensitive to interest rates and economic conditions. If times are difficult economically for a business, there's more incentive to invest in stuff like electric semis to replace your diesel vehicles because you will instantly save money. Consumers were like, oh, I can't afford a vehicle, I'll wait a few years to buy one. A business is like, oh shit, tough times, rates are high. Better replace those extremely expensive diesel vehicles with some electric vehicles and save some money.
Now, what does this scale do? What this scale does is allows us to industrialize and bring capacity to semi that lowers our cost, that we can pass on to our customers, so that when they make an investment, when they buy a semi, they can pay that back substantially faster than a traditional fleet turnover time. The end result is a positive economic experience for our customers. We aim to be as competitive at an upfront price with diesel as possible in order to accelerate the adoption of electric trucks as quickly as we can. Again, this is unlocked through Tesla's deep vertical integration. And we'll plan to leverage this into multiple variants. Again, you're seeing one today, but we'll be taking on a wide variety of applications and vehicle types.
Wait a second here. Wait. I need to process this. He just said wide variety of vehicle types. He's not talking about a long range and a less range vehicle. No. Okay? There's probably two variations of the semi, e.g. the 18-wheeler. I'm going to listen to that again. I think that we may just low-key have heard about a bunch of additional commercial products in Tesla's pipeline to address other needs. Did he low-key just let slip that Tesla's going to enter this market as well? Now, I've said it before, but there's obviously at some point going to be a Tesla van. This is a lot of the last mile sort of delivery stuff. You've got 18-wheelers delivering huge amounts of cargo between cities, major hubs. Then typically that ends up on one of these and then gets to somebody's doorstep. Let's listen to that again.
Price with diesel as possible in order to accelerate the adoption of electric trucks as quickly as we can. Again, this is unlocked through Tesla's deep vertical integration. And we'll plan to leverage this into multiple variants. Again, you're seeing one today, but we'll be taking on a wide variety of applications and vehicle types.
Yo, this is crazy, dude. A wide variety of vehicle types. Does not sound like a wide number of variations on a single vehicle type, e.g. multiple variations on the semi itself. Now, it is possible, to play devil's advocate here, maybe somehow, 'cause my brain's really small so I can't figure it out, but maybe Tesla somehow thinks that they can use the semi itself to take on a bunch of other vehicle types, like somehow disrupt delivery vans and those really light duty trucks as well with the semi. It's possible, that's what he meant, but I'm giving that about a 0.42069% probability. It sounds very much like Tesla intends on producing a range of commercial vehicles, starting with the semi and then eventually a number of other commercial vehicles as well. What do you guys think? Is that the way that you interpret his comments? Did we just hear about a range of Tesla commercial vehicles in the pipeline? E.g. commercial van, smaller truck and so on? Or am I just hallucinating? Dude, this is big. So coming soon, possibly, a Tesla baby truck. I don't even know what these things are called, like a light duty truck. A commercial van, obvious things are obvious. Plus the semi, at least the long and the moderate range variation. What else could possibly be around the corner? Was he meant to say that out loud? Were we meant to be able to see this presentation? I mean, he's talking to commercial customers, right? Maybe we weren't meant to be a fly on the wall. This is why it's always worth watching everything that's being said by anyone working at Tesla in these kind of presentations. This is huge, bro. We've just heard about a bunch of new products in the potential pipeline. And I do just want to remind everybody that autonomy is just around the corner. So when you're thinking about future products, think about autonomy's role in these as well.
Now, it's one thing to scale a vehicle. It's an entirely other thing. We also have to scale the charging infrastructure. Now, we're going to make sure that the customers have the charging solution that they need. That could be a depot charging, which we have experience with, deploying with PepsiCo in our own operations, for example. Or it could be something more akin to the public supercharger network that you might be familiar with. We're going to make sure that the customer has what they need to do the job. And that means we'll also ensure that there is compatibility with the other third-party networks and public networks that are coming online in Europe. We want to make sure our customers have the tools they need to do the job at the time, and that includes interoperability with other charging networks. But we are using our experience at deploying more than 50,000 DC chargers worldwide to drive down the cost of deployment and equipment to ensure the lowest possible charging cost for our customers. Now, this is just one piece of it. Ultimately, we need a lot of partners along the way in order to make this happen. So I call on the charging providers to continue to scale. I call on the policymakers, please work with us, work with the other charging providers to reduce the burden, to reduce the effort and costs in order to put charging into the ground. I call on the other OEMs to continue to make very compelling EV vehicles that allow for mass adoption quickly. We are really excited to bring the Semi to Europe. We think that it can blend low cost, high capability, and long range into a unique product that addresses a wide variety of needs and applications within the European market. And we are excited to go along with everybody else here in moving towards a zero-emission future and accelerating the world to sustainable energy and transportation. The future is electric. Thank you very much.
Bill Gates has left the chat. Now, holy shit, dude, my head's kind of still spinning from this. Multiple variations on new products in the commercial transportation space. Let the speculation begin. So definitely didn't see that one coming. Here I was thinking I'd be seeing a few details about Tesla Semi, the progress they'd made. Interesting to know they've replaced the diesel trucks in their own fleet. Cool. And out of absolutely nowhere, a range of new vehicles. Also nice to know, 50,000 units per year of Semi planned in the US, and then the next factory will be in Europe. Might be worth adding those to your Tesla valuation models. Damn. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. And I haven't missed a daily video in more than 3 years. Must be a coincidence, right? Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. But don't take my word for it. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. By the way, viewer, that makes 2 of us. On to the next. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. This viewer's been taking AG1 for 8 months and says, what an investment. Another. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, or I can keep going. There's plenty more to come. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. If you're still skeptical, hey, I don't blame you. Everyone on the planet seems to be promoting AG1 now, but guess what? They weren't nearly 3 years ago when I had this to say privately to my Patreon audience before there was a relationship, when I was asked about what I was doing for my health, energy, and so on. Just sharing my genuine, honest thoughts about a product I'd recently discovered that was at the time called Athletic Greens. Now, AG1. If I could only recommend one supplement to take, Athletic Greens, and I'm not getting paid to say this, Athletic Greens is a fucking game changer. I cannot believe how effective this is. No longer having a lack of energy in the afternoons. It's fucking amazing. There's only one thing to recommend, seriously. Try Athletic Greens. You won't go back. So obviously, just like Elon Musk is a liar, a fraud, a con man, a scammer, a fake engineer, and Tesla's going bankrupt, you shouldn't trust that guy from about 3 years ago who, without any financial incentive, was promoting this product to his audience on Patreon when they were asking about health and what he's doing for supplements. Because obviously, there was some other reason he recommended that, obviously. Not sure what it was, but don't trust that guy. And all the testimonials, like my mental game has improved with AG1. I feel better than ever. I'm so impressed I've bought it for both my parents. I feel more focused and have better digestion. Incredible difference. No more afternoon fatigue. It's relieved gut issues. These are all just obviously fake testimonials from fake people. Right? Wrong. Just try it. Unless you hate yourself. If you hate yourself and you don't even want to risk possibly feeling better, this is not for you. But for everyone else, what's the worst that could happen? Try it for a month. See how you feel. It's a no-brainer. Just click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR. You'll get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 travel packs. And you'll take the colossal risk that maybe you might have a similar experience to some of the people whose testimonials we've read in this video.